I'm Lisa Pickering, and welcome to CITV's Press Talk. Here's the most recent news and information from the government of Bermuda.
Good afternoon, everyone. Government policy of creating a business climate to attract inward investment is resulting in Bermuda's rise among the world's global resort destinations. Bermudians have always been known for creating an appealing environment for visitors, but today we stand on the threshold of attracting an entirely new group of global travelers. The ministry has worked hard to maintain the collection of high-quality tourism properties, but for the first time since the last century, we're welcoming a new capital investment in our hotel infrastructure. The five-star Lauren Hotel at Bink Beach is the latest luxury property to open after the substantial transformation of the Hamilton Princess. Phase 1 of the Azura Hotel development is underway at the former Surfside, and the St. Regis is due to break ground in St. George's. The Ritz-Carlton Reserve at Caroline Bay at Morgan's Point is also on the way, and these resorts are all of a very high caliber. During this period, Bermuda is adding substantial new hotel development for the first time in decades, but we are not adding just hotel beds. We've upped our game in the provision of high-quality hotel stock. This comes just as Bermuda is attracting to the island more of the owners of the world's superyachts. There's a great opportunity to reveal the charms of our island to the host of new visitors who may eventually find themselves visiting with, or indeed in the future without their yachts. In addition, we are increasing cruise ship activity, bringing more ships to the West End, Hamilton and St. George's, and with them more and more future air visitors. To switch gears, you should note that substantial changes in the use of this by Bermudians and visitors for an island totally surrounded by the Atlantic is our ocean. We foresee far more maritime activity in Bermuda waters, with more Bermudians being drawn to the sea through the America's Cup, a host of new international regattas, the building of an entire industry around superyachts, and the substantial addition to the island's mix of marinas. We see the Department of Marine and Ports Services as a critical arm of government in facilitating the movement of shipping through Bermuda's ports. This is even more important going into the new fiscal year, as the America's Cup will bring far more focus on Hamilton Harbor and the Great Sound in 2017. More maritime activity includes several racing fleets, Antigua to Bermuda, a super yacht race, and the tall ships, among others, as a backdrop to the world's greatest sailors to the America's Cup 35. This brings us into broader relief the expert work done by Bermudians through the provision of marked navigational channels, pilot and tug services, and the coordination of channel and port infrastructure development to ensure the needs of cruise and cargo ships. The Department of Marine and Port Services, our staff are also responsible for the coordination of international search and rescue operations. They oversee regional seaport security, including counterterrorism and interdiction with regard to illegal trafficking of narcotics and humans. During the 2016-2017 fiscal year, the department responded to over 446 search and rescue cases, both locally and internationally, for both ships and aircraft. Marine and Port staff are comprised of a number of unsung heroes providing services to international shipping, including tug services, maintaining navigational aids, providing tender services to cruise ships, and supporting the ferry services. Tug ships Powerful and Faithful have a bollard pull of over 40 tons, as well as firefighting, oil dispersion, and oil recovery capabilities, with a third smaller tug, the Edward M. Stowe, providing relief services. But we are right now studying our future needs because of the aging fleet and rising maintenance costs. The tugs have served us well, but the work they do will increasingly require more modern and robust vessels. Maintenance costs for the tender Bermudian are also rising because of the vessel's age, although we expect it to be a stalwart of moving people through the AC-35. And because of the America's Cup this year, we will continue to lease the Millennium Ferrier from Rhode Island for cruise ship transportation needs between Dockyard and St. George's, but this is likely the last year that it will be required. There is, of course, much to say on tourism, transport, and municipalities, much more than you can hear during the budget debate and on this very large ministry. It also includes responsibilities for transport control, the Department of Public Transportation, casino development, and the airport. But right now, I'm happy to take any questions that you may have.
The Bermuda Tourism Authority, what is their budget
So the BTA has received an increase of about $2.5 million. They have a budget of $25 million. As you know, they've done a sterling job with the budget that they've had so far. The numbers, I think, in the last 6 months alone have spoken for themselves, but for the whole year, they've just done a tremendous job, 17% increase in leisure travelers and the like. So they're going to do even better with a slightly bigger budget.
Did they ask for more?
Well, they asked for $25 million, and they got $25 million. So we advocated well with the Ministry of Finance, but I think they're very pleased with what they have to work with, and the exciting programs that they've got in place for marketing.
Given the America's Cup is going to be here, and what's being put in place to remediate any public transport issues?
So the America's Cup has a transport coordinator who's been working very closely with our public transportation services, from the ferries, the buses. They've been working with the minibuses and getting taxi drivers slowly involved in that as well. They have transportation hubs that have been set up at different locations to transport visitors that are going to park in their cars for the America's Cup to get to and from Dockyard. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more cars on the road at various times that you might not normally expect. But we think that we're in a pretty good place with the fleet as well, as we've been expressing a need for some time to upgrade the bus fleet. We have a budget provision for those buses that are out of service to be brought back into service to ensure that we have adequate bus lift. And as well, the Marine and Ports has done a sterling job in keeping our ferry fleet operational, and they too have received a substantial sum to ensure that the ferry service is going to be fully operational, to ensure that our visitors get the experience that they're looking for. A lot of work has gone into it behind the scenes. We don't talk about it a lot, but we're pretty confident that we're going to be in a very good position for both buses and ferries.
You've been watching Press Talk right here on CITV. Join us next time for your government's news and information. I'm Lisa Pickering.